Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So I've sat down today and I've pulled out every eyeshadow palette I own, and I thought I'd just go through all of them with you. I love watching like inventory videos and people just talking about their collection and showing you what they have. And when I've done this, I've sort of realised I have a bit of a problem. I have a lot of palettes. I just get so drawn into palettes, and there's quite a few here that I just completely forgot I even had. So this is quite good for me, and I've sat down with a bag of wipes and I'm going to just talk through every palette I have and my thoughts and feelings on it. And I'm also going to give them a little bit of a clean while I'm at it. So grab a snack, sit down, enjoy, and tell me all about your favourite palettes down below. So I thought I'd start with a few Colourpop palettes I own, and what's a better idea than to show you the one that I'm wearing right now on my eyes. So this is the Colourpop Sailor Moon Pretty Guardian palette. It's got this like cool hologram packaging. I don't know if it is conveying that in the camera, but this is such a gorgeous palette, and I've actually still yet to try out the bottom shades thoroughly, but the top two rows are some of my favourites at the moment, and they just blend so beautifully, and I've loved it. And you can see I have it on my eyes and it looks so pretty. So this is limited edition, but I feel like they've had it on their website for ages and it is still there. I just checked. So if you like this look or you like this palette, I would say go grab it now. Okay, so the next Colourpop palette I own is the Limoncello palette. It's got some gorgeous packaging. I love this. It's such a lovely concept, and it's got some stunning shades. These are the sort of coloured shades I like, so that yellow and green. It's colourful, but they still feel wearable as they're not so vibrant, and I do love some coppers and browns, and this palette just does a really good job at putting them all together. So this one is also 10 out of 10. So really good quality. All the Colourpop ones are good quality. And my next one, so it's the Nude Mood palette. This one is a bit of a mess. This is great for anyone getting into eyeshadow, and it just gives you all the basics you'll ever need. So you could go very wearable with the light shade or medium, or you can really deepen up with this dark one. It is a very pigmented shade. As you can see, I've like got mess all around the pan, but they are gorgeous, and the colour payoff is amazing in their palettes. And for the price point, it's a no-brainer, especially if you're just getting into makeup. Along the same vibe, I've also got the That's Taupe palette. So this is more cooler tones than the Nude Mood, but once again, how they've kind of set it up, you could go a bit more wearable with these lighter mattes and the lighter shimmers, or you can really deepen up with these dark shades. There's multiple looks in a palette, and they do also include their Super Shock formulas, which like this one here. Overall, another palette that I would say you should go grab if you do love cool tones. And if you don't like neutral or cool tones, I do also have the Blush Crush palette. So this, it leans a lot more pinky, rosy tones, once again set up in the same way, the lighter, the medium, and the dark. That's one thing I love about their palette. The color story is always amazing, and I feel like there's not a lot of repeat in the actual palette. So even these top two, they're sort of similar, but they do come off so different on the eye, and I feel like it's the sort of thing, like if I was going away for a while, I could take these three palettes and I'm one and done. Like, there's such a good size, but the amount of looks I could create with this with different outfits is insane. These little 9 pans are a win, and I would say go check out their website because they do have even more. There's tons. Like if you like wine colors, there's berry colors. They've even seen this blue one, the High Tide, which looks really nice. But to me, these are the most wearable and are the three that are the go-to. So that's all for my Colourpop palettes. Next is my Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. So I've got the sort of classic velvet ones, and don't judge me, I do keep them in the box because I want to keep that velvet packaging as clean as possible. I just want to keep them looking pretty. So first of all is the Modern Renaissance palette. I would actually say this is the one I reach for less. I might try and reach for it a bit more during the autumn and winter because it does lean towards sort of with the berry tones. It is a very awesome palette, so I'm gonna make a conscious effort to reach for it in the next coming months because I always just seem to gravitate towards my soft glam. Like I said, I gravitate towards my soft glam, so this is well loved. I would honestly say that this is my favorite palette of all time, hands down. I feel like I can get so many different looks out of this. It's so wearable. It's my love. I do love this palette, and nothing else can beat it. I'm still waiting for something to beat this palette. Okay, and I do have the Norvina palette as well. So this has a bit more pinky purples, and as you can tell, I do like a pinky purple look, so this is a good one for me, but I don't reach for it as often as I do the soft glam because of the more colourful looks, but it is gorgeous. I know they had some controversy with their is it the Subculture palette with the Fallout? I have not found that to be the problem in these. The quality is just amazing, it blends well. Overall, they're just amazing palettes. Next on the lineup is some Urban Decay palettes. I'm noticing a trend. I seem to be quite loyal to brands. If I like one of their palettes, I buy quite a few from them and I keep tabs on what they release. So first of all is the absolute classic Naked Original. I think this was my first ever like high-end nice palette. I think it was for like my 14th birthday. It's very old this now, but I'm never gonna get rid of it. I don't use it as much because I'll just use my Soft Glam instead. Oh, this is just, it's just amazing. The tones are so nice and I'm so sad that it is discontinued now. Next one we've got is the Naked 2. It is looking a bit battered, but once again, these cool tones are gorgeous. I know a lot of people do prefer the tin sort of packaging, but I do love the velvet feel and I prefer this. Once again, this is quite old. I don't think I'm ever gonna get rid of it, despite having like my Colourpop cool tone palette as well. It's just part of my collection now. And the last Naked palette I own is the Naked Heat, which I actually don't reach for a lot. I find I don't wear a lot of warm tones. It is an amazing palette and has amazing quality, but I just don't find myself reaching for it. Maybe I'll try a bit more during the autumn as well because they are more autumnal tones. Yeah, it's just one of them that I've never really reached for it as often as I do the others. And the last Urban Decay palette is the Born to Run. I think there is a lot of mixed opinions on this palette and I do really like it. I think there's so many options here and it is one of them, like it's designed for as a travel palette. It is really good for that. And I just do think the packaging is really nice and I love it's magnetic and it's got a huge mirror and there's just so many options with the colors and they do perform really well, but I don't find myself as reaching for like these darker, richer colors as much as I do when they're like more iridescent pastel-y. That's a bit annoying. The neutral tones in this are a must if you do need one palette to just travel, but you know you're going to need lots of different colors and looks. It is an amazing one for that. So the last sort of like going by brand palettes is Zoeva. So I have 4 in no particular order. I'm just going to start off with the most recent, Together We Shine. I haven't had a chance to use this a lot yet, but it is very pretty, pink, neutral, warm sort of browns. Very nice, do enjoy. And if the quality is anything like the others, I think this will be a favorite. The one thing I do find is, yeah, there's lots of really nice mattes which give a lot of options, but there is only 3 shimmers which don't give you as many options for creating a look. This is like, I'll pick this palette up if I know that this is what I want, that sort of vibe. But I do love the sleek feel of Zoeva palettes. I think they're gorgeous for that. Okay, and the next one I have is the Blanc Fusion, and this is for like an interesting palette. It's very warm, kind of has a few cooler tone browns. I mostly reach for the mattes, to be honest, because they have so many options. If I'm looking for a certain shade that is more on the cool side, because I don't have as many, sort of like this is a really in between, the neutral cool, so it's really good for balancing out if you've kind of gone for a too cool look. Okay, and the next one is the Caramel Melange. I do not know how to pronounce any of these names. I think this is like joint first of my Zoeva ones with the next one. I adore this kind of coppery warm shade, and the gold as well is amazing. The mattes do perform really nice in this palette as well, but I feel like I could do with like one that's slightly in between these two. I feel like I need one in between to suit me, because that deeper one is a bit too stark on my eyes. And the last one is Cocoa Blend. I love this in winter. I use the cranberry shade a lot in winter time because I have like a cranberry bodysuit and it just matches it perfectly. And it is one of my favorite Zoeva palettes. Oh, and I just stuck my finger in it. Okay, so the next one, which does look a bit of a mess, my Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette. This is textured neutrals, I think it's called. Good options, good shimmers, amazing color payoff. Just the one thing is it's really big. Don't necessarily find myself reaching for really huge palettes at the moment, and you'll see I have kind of a few, which is annoying, but this is one of my only palettes that have glitter. If I know I need to spice up a look, this is a great one. But there's just so many options. You can have like the daytime, you can go very warm, or you can have some more cranberry shades. It is a good one, and I'm hopefully she's gonna rip more palettes because this one did go so well. Fingers crossed. So next on my big palette saga, this one is a bit of a mess. It's the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. So I think this is the original one, first one she released. Great selection of shades, so many options, but once again, it is a big palette and I don't necessarily find myself reaching for huge palettes at the time, because they can just be so overwhelming. But the amount of mattes in here and all the different tones, you'll always find something you need. And I do love the pinkies in here. Just the downside is it's so big, I forget to use it. But it does have a great selection of shades, so if you are looking for a palette that you know can do everything and you don't mind big palettes, it is an amazing one. I'm not exactly sure if Morphe still have it on the website. I will check, and if they do, it'll be linked in the description. Okay, and another one I don't reach for because it's so big, but it is a great one to have in my collection because there is a lot of original shades. It's the James Charles Morphe palette. Look, it's completely blocking me out from behind here. I don't reach for it as much because it isn't wearable day to day, but if I do know I need a certain bright purple or a bright blue, it will be here. And this does just give me a lot more options if I'm trying to be creative. But once again, on a day-to-day basis, I don't reach for it a lot, but I'm always going to keep it about because of the amount of options it gives me. Whoa, we're on to the last few. So I have one Too Faced palette, and I haven't really dived into them yet because I do really love a lot of their complexion products. So this is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. It smells amazing, and it has quite neutral wearable shades, a little bit of just a random purple in there, which I don't understand. Oh, it smells so good though. Yeah, there's not much to say about this. It's not very exciting. It gives me early Naked palette vibes, hence it probably is that old, to be honest. But it is a nice palette, but just because of its lack of originality, I find I don't reach for it as much as I do my others. And I've got two new palettes, which I haven't actually dived into yet, as they're very new to my collection. You may see them come up in videos soon. So I've got the Huda Beauty new nude palette. This looks stunning, and I'm a bit scared of it because of them shimmers. I don't know what they're gonna look like, but I'm really excited to just give it a whirl, and maybe I'll do a video of a first impressions or 3 looks or something, because I just want to play around with it now. Okay, and another palette which is really new to my collection. Impulse bought it because it was on sale and I've seen so many good reviews. It's the Natasha Denona bronze palette. This looks stunning. This is definitely going to come up in videos because these warm bronzy shades, exactly what I want for autumn and winter coming up. I'm gonna have to do some videos with this because I always thought they were gonna be too expensive, but then they were like, it was like 20% off or something, 20-30% off. So I took the plunge and I'm very happy about it. And hopefully I don't get too attached. Otherwise I may find myself purchasing more from the collection. Okay, and that is all my eyeshadow palettes. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was something a little bit different and I had fun filming it, just talking about makeup. If you like the look of any of them, I'll try and link some in the description because obviously some are now discontinued. But yeah, look out for more videos like this soon because I have a lot of foundations. That is another thing that I buy a lot of. I am looking to do a video sometime soon about ranking my foundations, a foundation inventory, something along those lines. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, and if you want to see more of me, hit that subscribe button. I hope to catch you in the next one, and I'll see you soon. Bye.